Am I Kristen, the real Kristen, or am I an avatar? So today we're going to talk about Heygen. Heygen is one of the top video avatar AI apps. We're going to talk about two things that I think they do really well for new users that you, even if you're not an AI app, could take for your own onboarding. And then we'll talk about one big opportunity for them for increasing conversion. And so here we go. So basically, this is their homepage. Now, I am a returning user. I've already built an avatar. So this is what I am shown. And I like this for one big reason. And the reason in psychological science, it's called unpacking. So basically, when, let's say you're given, what's the likelihood of a car accident happening or an illness happening? And you have to predict that probability. Just by thinking about a car accident, you may not be thinking about all the types of car accidents you could get into or all the types of illnesses you could get into. As soon as you start unpacking this, as soon as you say, what's the likelihood of you getting a cold or flu? What's the likelihood of you getting hypertension, of you getting diabetes, of you getting Alzheimer's? Now, when you ask what's the likelihood of getting an illness, you're going to add up all of those probabilities. So when you unpack a concept for people, they increase typically the likelihood that concept happens. Back to Heygen, what they're doing is saying, look, here are different ways that we could serve you. Create your own avatar, generate an avatar, create a video. I don't love the carousel, by the way, but create UGC ads, translate a video. They are unpacking the value of what is just in the minds of a consumer, an avatar app. And by unpacking something, we add more detail, we make it more concrete, and thus we're increasing the likelihood that people understand the mental model of it and maybe will assign a higher probability of liking it. So the first tip is to unpack what you do, not assume that people know all the features, and they're describing it to me in a pretty easier way. We love these types of heuristic tags, popular, new. You look at Airbnb site, you'll see them full, like rare find, right? These are heuristics that help us understand where to look, where to pay attention. And Heygen does that really well. Okay. The second thing that they do very well, templates. This is, there's 53 templates, and I can go in here. And again, it's a form of unpacking, which is the first thing, but also it's just making it, so that was making it psychologically easier. This is making it logistically easier for me to create. They're giving me this, and I'm going to say create it with AI Studio. It's the biggest button to click, so I'll just say that. Now, all of a sudden, I will get basically a pretty built out presentation. And all I really have to do if I want to change this is say, hi, my name is Kristen. I am CEO of Irrational Labs. Okay, great. Let's see if it works. It's loading. Okay, so we've got there we go. We've got to start. Now, I don't really love the voice and the background could be changed, but at least I have a start to this, and I could obviously change the text. If you go to what is their other main CTA, which I would say probably they should change it to pick one of these templates, their big CTA here is create video. And I'm going to click avatar. I'm going to click landscape. By the way, love easy choices, this or that. These are not hard psychologically for me to answer. And so when you're asking me questions like this, I can do it. But now I've created a video and I have zero template for this. So I'm going to pick this lovely woman. And okay, so that's all that I really get. I have to really build the whole thing from scratch, way harder. And obviously something that your advanced users or users who know what they want, understand the mental model should be able to do. But for a new user, templates are a game-changing way to break out, unpack the mental model, as well as make it logistically easier for people to do something, anything. And I think Canva is well known for using templates to increase adoption and conversion. So something works here. Now, the thing that I would say is maybe the downside. So the first upside is they've done well with unpacking. They've made it logistically easy for me to do something as a new user, but they really aren't helping me figure out all this AI stuff. You can do so much with AI, but what should I do? Do you know that I'm not a marketer? I have a consulting company. Like I have 53 templates to choose from. You're not going to help me narrow it down. And so in one world, we could say, let's be smart and recommend things to people. And that's what they're doing on the homepage. They're saying suggested for you. My tendency here is actually just to ask people. And why? Because people are going to feel bought in when you're asking them. And if you have a this or that type question, it's very easy for them to answer. So you could say, which one of these more describes the thing that you would do? Are you going to do a demo video? Or are you going to do a social media ad sort of thing? And then you're engaging them in this picking process. Do you want to create your own avatar or use somebody else's? These types of kind of this or that questions could then engage people and lead them to a set of 3 choices. This is, here's what we think you could start with. Right now, it feels pretty overwhelming. So they've done the unpacking, but they need to go a step further to help me narrow to pick something so that I'm just not in endless search mode. I also don't love that they're leading with create your first template. Why? Because that is an amazing feature for somebody who, if they're an active user, they will use, right? You're going to want your branding colors. You're going to want your own avatar. You're going to want to do this in a repeatable fashion. Wow. But as the main CTA for a new user, like this is likely not where you want me to start because I would have to have a mental model of what is possible. I would have to realize that none of these 53 templates match what I need. And then I'd have to invest all the effort to create a template knowing that I will continue to use the app. When we think about the decision-making process someone has to go to start paying a subscription service, they have to be a little bit confident, not a lot, but a little bit confident that they're going to have a long-term relationship with you. Why? If you've ever been in line at a airport, they have Clear, right? They want you to do these free trials. It's like, we don't do the free trial because know that we don't really want a long-term relationship with them and we're afraid that we won't remember to cancel. So when you're engaging in a monthly subscription fee, and you have to have a little bit of confidence this is going to go on for a while, otherwise you're not going to engage. What I'm basically getting at is in this evaluation mode, you're probably not going to use the feature that says, yes, I am going to create a template that I will use forever because you haven't decided on forever. And so your main goal in this stage is to get me to do something. Okay, it brings me to the final point, which is if I say create a video, post an avatar video, create a landscape video. Now, these are videos, these are avatars that I've already made of myself, and I'll show you what one sounds like. So basically you can see that in the beginning, I actually didn't do my hair or makeup. I wasn't a weird office setup here. In the later too, I actually tried to look good because I was like, this is an avatar. So this is one of the same problems that Airbnb had initially, which is they're asking hosts to take pictures of their home. This is logistically hard. You have to go and take a picture of each home, but more psychologically hard because you want to look good, right? We all have this amazing kind of image of ourselves and you want people to appreciate that. And that means that people delayed it. They procrastinated. This is a big drop off. Still, I think one of the top drop offs for Airbnb. And initially what happened is like the founders are like, look, this is crazy. Let's just send out photographers, right? So they realized that this is a big drop-off point because of people's vanity. And then they had to decrease the amount of friction. Same with this. If you're not looking great at the moment that you sign up, you can't create an avatar because you're going to look so silly. And so Heygen is going to have to overcome this. They probably can't send out hair and makeup to me, but they probably don't want to push creating an avatar right away because if I'm not ready to be on screen, then it may not go well for them. If you're not happy with how you look, you may blame them instead of you. Okay, so this is Heygen for folks who are looking for a video avatar app. I do think this is one of the top couple. Tavas and Heygen are right up there. I'm sure there'll be more ones going, but this is definitely worth checking out. And if you want more Substacks, please subscribe, right? That's what you do.